Hey boys, it's Arm9. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. And before we get into that, we got to start off with the vehicle that is sitting here behind me, which is discounted this week, and this is of course the Declasse Granger 3600 LX. It's available 30% off this week, and it is an Imani Tech capable SUV. It has the armor plating upgrade. It also has optional front mounted machine guns that you can put on it. It has the Imani Tech missile lock-on jammer, which is pretty cool. It's also got bullet resistant windows. These can take about 15 shots from an assault rifle before they break, which is pretty darn awesome. So your occupants are going to be relatively safe in this thing. And last but not least, it also has an oil slick proximity mine dropper, which you can use to spin out people that are chasing you around in online, or NPCs or anything of the sort. So that is really cool. Definitely an interesting vehicle, definitely something you should look into. But before we get into any more about the Declasse Granger 3600 LX or any other vehicle, we have to talk about how to make some money this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. To start off with, we have triple money and triple RP on buried stashes, as well as shipwrecks in GTA Online in free mode, so that is pretty cool. And we also have double money and double RP on free mode events this week in GTA Online. That's going to be things like criminal damage, for example, air checkpoints, regular checkpoints, anything like that happens in free mode sessions. All double money and double RP for the remainder of this week. However, that's not all. We also have triple money and triple RP on any new community series job that has been added into Grand Theft Auto Online. For example, we got Hang Time 2 here under the stunt races, under the community jobs tab here under online. So that's pretty cool. Last but not least, we also have double money and double RP on Sumo Remix. Very fun game mode. You guys should definitely try this out this week. Next up, we have to talk about some of the discounts that are going on in GTA Online this week on the websites. So let's go ahead and get into that. Unfortunately, no property discount. However, we do have some pretty good discounts. Starting off on Legendary Motorsport, we have the Bravado Buffalo EVX coming in at 30% off, which is not a bad discount. The EVX is electric. It is a muscle car, so it can do a wheelie. It's all-wheel drive. It also has Imani Tech capabilities, meaning that it can have the missile lock-on jammer as well as the armor plating upgrade and the oil slick proximity mine dropper. And because it's an electric Imani Tech vehicle, it can take way more missiles than normal gas-powered Imani Tech vehicles in GTA Online, so do keep that in mind as well. The EVX also has a relatively high top speed. As I said, it is all-wheel drive, so it has very good acceleration. A decent amount of customization. Not my favorite looking vehicle, but it is still pretty good. Definitely something that I wouldn't skip out on this week if you are interested even remotely. Over here on Warstock Cash and Carry, we have the F-160 Raju discounted by 30% off this week, which is a really good discount. I think that's the best discount we've ever got on the F-160 to date, so that's awesome. The F-160 Raju is a really great plane. It's the fastest accelerating plane. It's also one of the highest top speed planes in GTA Online. It is customizable within the hangar, so you can change the handling of it. You can also put liveries on it, as well as engine upgrades, armor upgrades, anything like that you want to do to it, which is really cool. It's also the only stealth jet in GTA Online. It operates similarly to the Akula attack helicopter, where you can turn on stealth mode. It disables the weapons, but it will remove you entirely from the radar as well as the minimap, which is really awesome. Definitely a really good plane. It does have homing missiles as well as explosive cannons, which is sick. The Raju is definitely worth picking up, and it is certainly the best discount of the entire week for sure. Scrolling to the bottom of Warstock Cash and Carry, we have the Ramp Buggy discounted this week. The Ramp Buggy is pretty fun. However, there are some things that aren't super great about it. Unfortunately, you can only hit about 50 cars with the Ramp Buggy before it will start to get damaged, and the performance will dwindle, and eventually it will actually become destroyed. You will also need a vehicle cargo warehouse if you want to purchase this thing, because that is the only place that you can store it. For 30% off, it's not the worst purchase ever. However, it's not the best. It is a lot of fun, but it does get damaged very easily, so your fun time is going to be quite limited with the Ramp Buggy, unfortunately. Of course, you can recall it back, which is not the end of the world, but it is just a little bit annoying because it does get in the way of your fun. It is also upgradable at Los Santos Customs, so do keep that in mind. You can put an engine upgrade on this thing and make it a little bit faster, stuff like that. So it's not the worst vehicle ever, but it's not the best either, and you will need a vehicle cargo warehouse in order to purchase it. So do keep that in mind. And of course, the last discount that we've already kind of talked about is the Class C Granger 3600. It is also 30% off this week. Like I said, bullet resistant windows, front mounted machine guns, armor plating upgrade, missile lock-on jammer, oil slick proximity mine droppers. Not bad for just over $1 million. Not a bad purchase to make this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's also all-wheel drive, has good acceleration. Unfortunately, it is actually technically slower than the original Granger 3500 that we've had in GTA Online the entire time, so do keep that in mind, but it does have a lot of great features to go with it, which definitely make it more worth owning than the regular Granger, that's for sure. So there you have it, guys. That's it for bonus money. Those are the discounts that are available this week. We got to head over to the casino as well as the LS Car Meet, talk about the vehicles that are available to be won, and then we got to go to all the dealerships and talk about the vehicles that you can purchase this week that are removed. So let's get into it. In the casino, we have the Vapid Slam Truck available to be won this week. Not a great vehicle. Unfortunately, the back here that looks like it should be able to hold the car is not functional, so you can't actually do that, which does really suck. If you want to try to win it, definitely go for it, but you're not missing out on anything if you cannot win it this week, so do keep that in mind. Within the LS Car Meet, we have the Western Rampant Rocket available to be won this week as the prize ride. In order to do this, you're going to have to place first for 2 days in a row. I'm not going to lie, I really don't know much about the Western Rampant Rocket, but I would judge by how it looks and how I presume it would feel. It's probably not super great, but it is a relatively easy challenge. If you've been wanting it for a while, or you've got one and you want to win this one, then sell your other one. Not a bad thing to do this week for sure. It's definitely an interesting looking thing. Not something I would personally drive, but if you want to try to win it, you definitely should. As far as the vehicles available within the LS Car Meet go, we have the Albany Alpha sitting here on the left. We also have the Progen GP1 and the Overflood Entity XF. All three of these vehicles are removed. All three of them are absolutely awesome in their own ways. The Albany Alpha is kind of an interesting car. It's very underrated. It always kind of has been. It's actually very fast off the line. It has a little bit of customization, which is pretty cool. Not the greatest car ever, but it is only $150,000. So do keep that in mind if you're interested in it. Very luxurious, kind of a cool looking vehicle, if I'm being honest. In the middle, we of course have the Progen GP1 based off the McLaren F1 in real life. Tons of customization, really good performance. Just honestly a super awesome car. It's definitely one that I would recommend this week for sure. Definitely one of the stronger ones this week that are available. So the GP1, definitely something that I would recommend picking up for sure. And of course the OG Overflood Entity XF, you can't really go wrong with picking it up. It's pretty sick. It's not super fast. You're going to lose races with it for sure if that's what you're trying to do. But as just a cool OG car that you can get this week, you can't really go wrong. It's $795,000, which is not too bad. The GP1 here, let's actually just see how much it is. $1,260,000, not too bad. So if you guys want any of these vehicles, I would recommend picking them up this week. They are all removed. You can't get them on the websites, so now is pretty much your only chance for at least a couple months, I would say. Within Simeon's dealership, we have quite a few other removed vehicles here, starting off with the Benefactor XLS. This is actually one of my favorite SUVs in the game. This thing is sick, and you can purchase it for only $253,000. Not too bad. We also have the LCC Innovation right here. I'm not going to lie to you guys, I really don't know much about some of these bikes. The LCC Innovation, it looks kind of cool, and it is going for $92,500 this week. Not a terrible price. I feel like I don't really know much about it. I'm not even going to hold you. Next up, of course, we have the Gallivanter Baller LE. Now, I do believe that this thing is actually removed, and it goes for $149,000. Let's actually just confirm that on Legendary Motorsport right now by scrolling down a little bit here. The Gallivanter Baller LWB is available, but the LE does not look like it is, so it is actually a removed vehicle. So do keep that in mind if you want it. $149,000. And of course we have the Western Zombie Bobber right here, and in order to purchase this thing, it's going to cost you $119,520. Definitely a really cool looking bike. I prefer it a lot over the LCC Innovation there. I think this is actually pretty sick. I've heard this is actually a really cool bike. I'm sure people will tell you about it in the comments down below if you are interested. And of course, the Canis Kalahari. Not a great vehicle, Very, very skinny tires. Actually, surprisingly good off-road. It is all-wheel drive. Not much in the way of customization though, so definitely keep that in mind. Overall, not something that I can necessarily recommend this week. And at the Luxury Autos dealership, boring as ever, we have the Fathom FR36 as well as the Albany Cavalcade XL. Pretty sure these are the exact same two cars as last week or a previous week. But yeah, nothing exciting at all here. Within the Chop Shop, these are the vehicles that are available to be stolen this week, and in order to steal the Fisker Combat S2 Cabrio, you're going to have to do the Duggan robbery. For the Grotti GT500, you're going to have to do the Gangbanger robbery, and for the Albany Cavalcade XL, you are going to have to do the Podium robbery, and unfortunately, seemingly none of these cars are claimable this week, which is pretty lame. So those are the ones you could steal, so definitely keep that in mind for sure. Alright guys, and last but not least, we of course have to talk about the time trials that are available today and this week. Starting off with your RC Bandito time trial, it is Construction Site 1. Your Junk Energy time trial is Sewer System. Your regular time trial is Maze Bank Arena, and your HSW time trial starts right around here, and it is Ron Alternates to Elysian Island, and that means it's going to end right here at the very end of this dock. So there you have it guys, that's been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys found this video useful or helpful in any way, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.